Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're talking about another penny stock market watch. If you guys do like this content, please make sure you let me know by leaving a comment down below. What cards do you look at when they're under $5? Do you really think they're gonna do super do well? Because these are just the best selling cards, right? Let me know those comments down below. Make sure you click that like button, subscribe, all of that jazz. But let's jump right into it with the first one that I want to talk about being Invocation. So let's look at Invocation for a second. So if you get a direct by TCG Player, which I will say I did end up doing this one time, and the box you get is pretty cool looking. But if we're gonna pay what the cost of the card actually is, it actually is that. That actually is the cheapest one available. I did not expect that. So like very soon, this card's no longer gonna be under $5. And if we look at all versions of Invocation, we have the OTS Ulti, which is $150. Right, but most of them sit in this range, anywhere from $10 to $30. Let's look. I'm just gonna look at these real quick. Just as I mean, this is the original Fusion Enforcers version, so I'm kind of surprised that that one's not higher. Oh, it's Korean. I hate when they do that. It's like, why is this one so cheap? It's Korean. They get you every time with that one. Um, this is also Korean. Okay, so once we get past the Korean ones, it's about a $20-$25 card. And then the Shadows in Valhalla Rare, which I personally think is the worst looking one. But once we get past the Korean ones again, we're looking at about and the reason I'm talking there's a reason I'm talking about this. It's about a $15 card. The reason I'm talking about this is because when the cheapest so the cheapest version of every card in the Yu-Gi-Oh market is usually the one that's going to fluctuate the most. It's usually the most expensive and the cheapest, right? Because the most expensive one lets everybody know how much the entire Yu-Gi-Oh secondary market is willing to pay for the most expensive version, the best version of the card, and also the worst version, right? So now we know it's going to fall anywhere in between. We know it's $150 for the ultimate versions of Invocation, and it's $5 for the maximum gold Eldorado premium gold rare versions, right? But we look at all the other prices, all of the other cards, versions of those cards over $10. And this is not that great of a version. This is not that great of one either, right? Like these two being the more expensive side makes sense. These two over $10 doesn't. And we've seen Invoke Shaddoll Dogmatica. Let me see real quick. I bet you if I just click on this, just from the best decks of the weekend by Anthony Tachella. You know, we have this deck, we have Sword Soul, we have Bird Up, more Bird Up. Okay, so wait, Prank Kids? It's kind of wild. Um, Look it, there it is right there. There it is right there. Invocation. That's just right there. And this has been around. What is this? D Hero Invocation. Okay, respect. Wild deck idea. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make with all of this, with all the looking at the different rarities and talking about the best decks over the weekend, is the fact that Invocation is an expensive card, over $10 on all versions of it except one right now. And I say right now because it's a consistently meta card over and over again. And I wouldn't be very surprised if we look back on this card in a year, maybe even 6 months, and it's already starting to be $6, $7, $8. You know, and you don't need a playset, but if you know, this is definitely something I would keep an eye on, even though it is on the higher end of the penny stock side, which is almost $5. Invocation is definitely something I would keep an eye on going forward because all versions are so expensive, right? So the next card I want to talk about, what is going on here? Do these? What's going on here? This is why. The water hype is real. The water hype is real. Once okay, once all face-up monsters, if you become water, okay. Once per turn, you can destroy one your opponent controls and inflict damage. Wow, it's a quick effect. If this exceeds summon destroyed, you can special summon this card. Is this card good? I don't. Where is this card? Is this like an art? What is this? Okay, see, now I'm curious. I'm actually just curious. I thought this card was related to that card. I think this is just. I don't know what that card is. I assumed they were related. I haven't seen these cards at all. It's this thing. Okie dokie. Once per turn during the main phase, you can destroy one water monster opponent controls. If this card is special summoned, by the effect of a number monster and it's destroyed, you can special summon other monsters from your graveyard. That's like how the whole archetype works. It's interesting. I just wanted to see, because usually if a card is under $1 or under $2 and it ends up on this list, like Downer Magician as well. But that's from the Brothers of Legends, because people know that people play this card. People know that Downer Magician, because of this, right? During your main phase 2, you can also Xyz summon this card using a rank 3 or lower Xyz monster you control as Xyz material. Like that is the only reason why this card has always been relevant. And once again, it's kind of like Invocation. Like this, I don't believe this $5. The market price is $28. Light plays for 5. Oh, so it's like a $6 to $7 card, right? And this is a $10 or $11. Okay, so the point I'm trying to make with Downer Magician, with honestly even Diablos the Mind Hacker, but really number 4 Stealth Kraken and Downer Magician, is that like if a card, I mean this one is in this category as well. If a card is under $1, but there's a lot of versions selling, that's a good target for a penny stock as well. Right, and the hype around water is legit and real. And what's cool about these, I mean, I know the highest one's, $2. We got this person for 18 versions. See how much all that would be. $30. So you get 30 bucks, you get 18 for 30 bucks at about $1.50 each. If this card ends up being a $2 to $3 card, if it just gets to this spot right here, right, then that's eight. I don't know. I didn't mean to click on that. Then that's 18 versions for $2. It's 36 bucks. So you spent 27, got 36, and obviously with the shipping and handling and different things like that, you probably want to wait for it to hit maybe $3 or $4 or possibly even $10. Brothers of Legend just came out, right? This isn't that old of a set, right? Um, yeah, like it's literally one of the newer sets. That's why we see so many Brother Legend cards come out, and now we're starting to see. I mean, yeah, we could talk about Lure Darkness again, and Winged Critical again, and Godarla again, but I'm really looking at these Xyz monsters. Most in particular, Stealth Kraken because of water, and Downer Magician because of that first clause. That first clause has always made that card a relevant card, right? And then interestingly enough, Alistair the Invoker, also from the maximum gold versions going up. Like I said, this archetype has always been good. This archetype has always been good. Let's just look at all the invocation cards, or all the invoked cards. Macabra's 55 cents. Meltdown's 225. I'm just going to look at this. I'm not going to look at a bunch of different versions. Purgatorio's 36 cents. Sally, Super Poly. This deck can run Super Poly. Super duper well. $2.49. So it's like, if you haven't picked up an invocation package yet, and you at some point could see yourself running an invocation deck, now would be the time to do it. Now is the time to do it. Because I don't see this. Let's look at this guy. 15 sales, 0% feedback, 59 cents. Sometimes you gotta roll the dice. Sometimes you just gotta go for it. But you guys get what I mean by that, of course. But the last card I did want to talk about, this person right here, guy, behemoth. Now, banlist, every time the banlist comes out, it's banlist season. It's Mystic Mine, Mystic Mine, Mystic Mine, Mystic Mine, right? But Mystic Mine hasn't really been that big of an issue recently. And we look at the other versions real quick of Mystic Mine. $4, $4.50, $4.20, $4.30, $5. Second page, I'm assuming we're going to see $5. Yeah. And we look at the original. This isn't even the original version. That's the reprint. I think it's the rarity bump, though. Yeah, Prismatic Sequel rarity bump. $10. $10. It's interesting. This was a $10 card before this version came out. That version came out, made them all go down lower. So now might be the best time to pick up Mystic Mine. It's not going to take long. You and I both know it's not going to take long for some random Yugi tuber to come out with some crazy Mystic Mine deck or some crazy strategy that works with Mystic Mine, and it is a great card. Like, it is a phenomenal card. It is one of those cards that's like, yes, it's annoying to face, and yes, it probably should be banned or limited, and yes, it probably will be at some point, right? But if you utilize, it does allow for interesting deck building ideas, right? And Konami's always had, whether it was Chicken Game or Mid Breaker Midfield, which those cards are both on the ban list now. Like, Konami's always had, ever since they decided to make field spells good back like in 2015, 2016, Konami's always had that one field spell that rogue decks can run, right? Like, Cloudians can run Mystic Mine. Fire King can run Mystic Mine. Like, Fire King actually can't run Mystic Mine. But, like, you understand what, like, Toons can run Mystic. Well, Toons can't because I got Toon Kingdom. But you understand what I'm trying to say, right? Like, I don't know, Dragoonities can run Mystic Mine. Name an archetype that isn't very good. Magician Girl can run Mystic Mine. Like, we could do this all day because there's a lot of bad archetypes out there, right? And Mystic Mine levels the playing field. And the interesting thing is, too, that's kind of, I guess, like the theme on accident. That's the theme of this video. Other than, like, obviously, like, number 4 Stealth Kraken, and Downer Magician, is like Invocation and Mystic Mine. They level the playing field. They make rogue decks better. They make decks that shouldn't be competing with Sword Soul, with Tri Brigade, with Drytron, with Eldritch. They make decks like that able to compete with the lower tiers because Invocation levels the playing field and the whole Invoked engine, and so does Mystic Mine. But let me know what you guys think. What cards under $5 are you looking forward to the most? Let me know in those comments down below. Let's get the comment section flowing up with different cards, different ideas here. There's a lot of different spots to make a lot of money off of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Secondary market, but the penny stock market is definitely one that could be explored more. So let me know what you guys think in those comments down below. Click that like button to show your support for the channel. Subscribe for even more content, but most importantly of all, have a good day.